There are three things that you need if you want to scale your agency to 100K, 150K per month in revenue, and to have 100K of that to be profit. And most agency gurus will not tell you this. And they're pretty simple. The reason they're not telling you this is because, well, otherwise they would cannibalize like whatever they're doing, right? It would hurt them and their business. But the first thing is, if you really want to reach 6 figures per month in revenue with your agency, you need to be running paid ads. Like, if you're still doing outreach, you're not gonna hit that. Unless you have a big social media presence and you have a big personal brand. That's the only other way you're gonna be able to hit that. But you're not gonna be hitting that with like cold email and outreach on LinkedIn, Facebook, and IG. Do that stuff when you're starting out, but past 10, 15K per month in revenue, I would just reinvest that money into paid ads. This is what I did when I was at 15K, 20K per month. Granted, I was like in the French market, so it was like, I capped that market because there's only like 15,000 agents back in the days when I was running ads. So it was like tough to actually scale massively because I hit a cap pretty quick. But for you, if you don't have a cap, like I assume your biggest bottleneck, if you're not at 100K to 150K per month in revenue, it's definitely because you don't have enough demos. You don't have enough sales calls. And so I see so many agency owners, man, it's crazy. What they focus on is service delivery, is how do I automate this in my agency? I'm like, dude, stop automating all that shit. Start focusing on lead gen and sales. That's it. That's it, man. If you just learn how to be good at sales and you learn how to like actually book calls through paid ads, you're gonna be way ahead of the competition. And secondly, you're gonna have predictability. The thing with outreach is like, if you stop, or if your appointment setters churn and they go away or something, I don't know, like they're sick or whatever, then it stops. The beautiful thing about the paid ads is that it's predictable because it doesn't depend on anyone, right? You just need to manage them a little bit. But even then, like nowadays, like managing the ads, it just comes out to like having a good creative. That's pretty much it. Like the audience, there's not much work into that as well. And so that's the first thing that people won't tell you, but that you need if you are stuck with your agency. Again, like unless you have like crazy amounts of money, which certainly I didn't have when I first started out. I was broke. I remember having like $1,000 in my bank account at one point. I've just dropped out of high school. My parents did not have any money at all. And I wasn't in a position where I could like just spend, like right now we're spending like $1,000 a day on ads. Like I would never be in a position to be able to do that. So when you're starting out, do the outreach, but the outreach should just be a means to get enough money in the agency, enough cash flow so that eventually you can just reinvest it back into the ads. The ads will give you predictability, the ads will give you skill. So what I mean by this is the outreach break at a certain point. There's so many emails you can send out. There's so many Facebook or Looms or whatever the hell you're doing with like the manual outreach that you can do. It's also the concept of outbound versus inbound. When they come on the call because you outbounded them, they're in a position of power because they're like, okay, dude, just tell me what you got. You reached out to me. What do you have to offer? Pitch it, right? So you're in a really tough position when it comes to the sales, in terms of like the sales framework and the behind the scenes of like what's going on with the sales and the power dynamic. But when they come to you from your ad, it's like, okay, you tell me why you clicked on the ad. What is it that you found interested in the ad that got you to reach out, right? Now they're justifying what they liked about you and your company and what you had to offer. The second thing that you need if you want to scale your agency to 6 figures or 150K per month in terms of revenue is closing skills. Okay, you need to learn how to sell. Now, what I see online nowadays regarding like SMMA sales is just quite unrealistic. Like that shit doesn't work. Like most SMMA gurus I watch online, not gonna name names, but it's just like not good. Like they're closing deals with like a guarantee. They're closing deal like on a month-to-month basis. Like there's not even like a 4-month or 6-month like contract value, and they're almost like twisting the prospect's arm to move forward with it. And it don't get me wrong, like that's what I used to do for the longest time in my agency until I realized and I learned how to actually sell. And when I learned how to sell, what this allowed me to do is to remove the guarantee or sell a lot of prospects without a guarantee at all, which removes a lot of pressure, you know, out of you and your team. Because if you have a guarantee, it's not really, if you actually honor your guarantee and it's not a BS guarantee, then the revenue you close isn't really officially closed, right? Like we used to have a 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. So of course, it was easier to get people to like get in, but then, you know, some people would just take advantage of the guarantee as well. So never really be like a certainty of, okay, we made this much. And so you gotta keep in mind, your agency owner gurus online, what they're not telling you is that, okay, sure, they make X amount a month with their agency, but like they're also having a guarantee in place. And either one, they're not really honoring it, or two, they're honoring it, and so their revenue isn't as high as they claim, right? And so when I talk about, you know, us reaching 150K per month and 100K a month of that to be profit was like past all the guarantees that we honored, right? And so for us, it was simple. It's like, is it in the 30 days or outside of the first 30 days? If it's within the first 30 days, you're eligible. If not, you're not, right? And so they didn't have to really give a reason. Now, looking back at this, it really helped at the beginning when we were like validating the offer, but then at a certain point, you're gonna have people like abuse the guarantee, right? So my point is this, you need to learn how to sell people without a guarantee. Because otherwise what they're buying is just a guarantee. So you don't really need to have like great salesmanship. You can just have like a good offer with a guarantee and that's it. The problem with this is that it's gonna be tough for you to keep a good reputation because I know a lot of agencies, and just from like talking to our clients, our real estate agents, they tell me, yeah, I've worked with like XYZ company, and you know, they said they had this guarantee, and then comes out like they don't honor it. And so if you don't honor that, like what do you think will happen with your name and your reputation? Like it's gonna tank, and so it's not gonna help you. It's gonna be even worse closing deals for you. So that's what I'm saying. You need to learn how to sell without a guarantee. If you really think about it, what do you think a guarantee gives your prospect? It gives them certainty. So your guarantee is just filling up for your lack of certainty that you're supposed to be transferring to your prospect. If you need a guarantee to close, that means you're not able to get the prospect to be certain enough about what you have to offer. Because if you would, you wouldn't need that guarantee, right? Like the things about, like think about the most things that you buy in life, like you don't have a like real guarantee on them, but you're sure about them, you're certain. And so you go ahead and then you purchase without necessarily having a guarantee that like I'm gonna get X, Y, Z results. You're just like, no, that's what I want, and you know, that's it. The problem is in our industry, people are skeptical, all right, because they do a lot of shady like shit that you some of the crazy shit I see online nowadays. You know, like we get people all the time stealing our case studies and results and claiming it's theirs. You know, it's fine if you want to play that game, but you're never going to go far doing that. You know, like eventually like karma will bite you back first, and second, people can read through that shit. Like I can see in people's eyes just through a video usually, you know, even better in person, if like they're bullshitting or not, or if they really stand, if they really are who they say they are. And like prospects can like also see that, like they're not dumb, you know, they're not dumbasses. And so my point is this: learn how to sell people without needing a guarantee, and this will like take you, you know, really far. Sure, you might have less closes, but also you have a better, you'll be able to sleep better at night knowing that you don't have to like always refund these clients. And also the quality of the clients that you're going to be attracting are going to be way higher because they don't have these crazy expectations. They're not always like threatening you, being like, oh, if you don't do this, I'm gonna pull the refund plug and that's it. You know, and you're gonna give me my money back and stuff like that. And then the other thing is like, if you don't honor your guarantee, well, you're gonna get chargebacks, disputes on Stripe, and then you risk having your account being shut down. And then this is a whole mess in and of itself, right? So that's why it's just better to have clients that are like really bought in for the right reasons, not just bought in because of your guarantee, right? And again, I'm not pointing fingers here. I'm just like, I was like a victim of this too. I mean, I was affected by that as well. I was selling because like people were joining the program because it had the guarantee. Without it, they wouldn't join, right? When I first started out. And so that's the second thing. And then the third thing that you also need if you really want to like make it big is you need great people, like a great team. In order for you to have that, you need a personal brand. Okay, so what I've learned is that, yes, you can find some decent people from, you know, posting in Facebook groups and Discord communities and posting on your social media. If you don't really have that much of a brand going on, you can find some people there. maybe like Upwork and stuff like that. You know, it's funny because like last month, for example, I tried spending 10K running ads to recruit closers. And even then, like, you know, we got some okay applicants, like some pretty good ones, but like not like insanely aligned with who I was looking for. All goes to show like our best people in the company, like they came from the personal brand or a referral, or they've heard about me somewhere else before, or they saw an ad of me and then like they were hooked, and they watched like my social media and stuff like that, and then they bought into me as a leader and the company and the vision that I had as well, you know? So if you don't have a personal brand, it's gonna be hard for you to actually gain your prospects' trust, but also your team members' trust, because you're not gonna be reaching 150K per month just by yourself. You're gonna need people to help you, like CSMs, you're gonna need people to deliver the services for you, right? Whether that be media buyers or, whoever that is, closers, setters, admins, VAs. If you don't have a team that's aligned, it's not gonna work out. You can hire anyone easily on Upwork, right? Or Fiverr for cheap, or like onlinejobs.ph. But the thing is, like, these guys, they're just in it for like the money, right? Not every team member is like equally, is equal. Like for me, when I log into my Slack, like it's fun, right? Why? Because everyone in there, I selected, right? Like they fit the culture, and I did that on purpose, because before, I used to have a team where like I didn't really like know about all this stuff, and I just hired anyone. Oh, you can do the job, you have the skills, let me bring you on board, right? Sounds like a good fit, a good plan. But then after like being at it for like a couple of years, I realized like doing this stuff online, from your home office here, like it can get quite lonely, right? Quite like, not boring, but like, tedious and repetitive and stuff like that, because you don't really have the human interaction that we normally have. And so for me, I was like, okay, how can I make this fun every single day? And it'd be for sure by having people that I love to spend my time with. The people on my team, I would be friends with them in real life, right? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Like, if you wouldn't be friends with that person in real life, then you probably don't have the right person in your team. And so you gotta ask yourself, would you be seeing yourself hanging out with that person in real life? If the answer is not really, or if it would be a little bit awkward, then you don't need to like fire them right away, but definitely think about eventually building a team that resonates more with who you are. It's just gonna make everything else easier. Like that's the first thing I look out for when I hire people nowadays. I look for the cultural fit first. They have this, then they can figure out the skills. We can figure out the logistics after, but they have the cultural fit. Usually they'll do like pretty much anything to get the results that they're supposed to be producing. So all that to say, the best way to attract these types of team members is going to be through your personal brand. So start creating content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the platform, really just to put yourself out there, to talking to your prospects. But that it's just so people can see your vibe, they can see your vision, they can see like what you stand for, and this will draw people in, right? And so these are like the top 3 things I would say that you need if you really want to hit 150K per month in revenue with your agency. And most agency gurus, again, won't tell you this, but again, it's paid ads, learning how to sell without a guarantee, and learning how to sell very well. And then thirdly, you need a personal brand to attract the talent needed to build the infrastructure to reach 7 figures a year and beyond.